Hello students, so today we will be starting with a new topic. The new topic name is human development. This topic is present in the class 12 book of human geography. So today we will be starting with the third chapter, the human development. What is the meaning of development and how human is related to the development of a particular country? So let us discuss. Here, what do you mean by growth and development? Now you see, if I talk about growth and development, both are different. Growth is different, development is different, both have a different approach. Now how they are having a different approach? Though they have a similar mentality, similar thinking, but their approach is different. You see, if I talk about growth and development here, now, if I talk about growth and development here, both growth and development refer to changes over a period of time. The difference is that growth is quantitative and value neutral. It may have a positive or a negative sign. Now, if I talk about growth and development, it means changes. It means modification of a particular country. It means modification of a particular state or a country. You can say that it has a negative impact as well, a positive impact as well. Now, development means a qualitative change which is always value positive. This means that development cannot take place unless there is an increment or addition to the existing condition. Now, if I talk about development, development is a qualitative change. It is a qualitative change and the change is always positive. It is always value positive. Now, if I talk about a particular country like United States of America, we say that it is a developed country. So, it has been taken in a positive sense, which means United States of America is the most advanced country and the developed country in comparison to the other countries. And development is always termed to be as the positive value. Now, development occurs when positive growth takes place, yet positive growth does not always lead to development. Development occurs when there is positive change in quality. Now, if I talk about development, it is all regarded to the positive growth. It is all regarded to the positive growth when positive changes takes place. Those are termed as development first of all. And second of all, positive growth does not always lead to development. Now, if I talk about positive growth here, we have understood that development is positive growth, but that positive growth doesn't always lead to development. It always doesn't lead to a positive change or a positive sign. Now, development occurs when there is positive change in quality. For example, if the population of a city grows from 1 lakh to 2 lakh over a period of time, we can say the city has grown. However, if facilities like housing, provision of basic facilities and other characteristics remain the same, then the growth has not been accompanied by development. Now, if I talk about development, development is a positive change, but that positive change doesn't always lead to a positive impact. Now, if I talk about a particular country, the development of a particular country, like for example, before the population was 1 lakh. Now, that state or that locality has comprised to 2 lakh population. It is a positive sign of a development, but if basic facilities are not provided to the people around, like basic education is there, basic health facilities is there, or basic amenities are not provided to the common people around, then that is not termed to be as the development. That is not termed to be as the development. And if it changes or if it is leading to a negative growth, then it will not be termed as the development. Development means each and every individual must get local amenities, must get basic facilities from the government itself. So this is what the meaning of the development. Now, the idea that the quality of life people enjoy in a country, the opportunities they have and the freedom they enjoy are important aspects of development. Now, another example of a development, if I talk about, if an individual is enjoying all the basic facilities in a particular country, if government is providing enough facilities to the people around, if government is providing enough facilities to the people around, also on the other hand, if they are enjoying the following aspects as provided by the government itself, then it is termed as development. Also, on the other hand, if I talk about development, the ideas of development was being spelled by two Nobel Prize winners. Mahbub-ul-Haq and Amartya Sen. You see, Amartya Sen, the welfare economics was founded by Amartya Sen. So Amartya Sen was the Nobel Prize winner during the year 1999. So as a result, Mehboob ul Haq and Amartya Sen has first given the ideas of uh, growth and development, or you can say they have provided the ideas of development. So as a result, they have termed that development is a positive growth and it is also considered to be a positive value. If all the basic facilities were being provided to the government itself, and if the country itself is being providing every basic facilities to the people around, the citizen around, then that word is termed to be as the development. So again, I am repeating, Mehboob ul Haq and Amartya Sen has given the ideas of the development. Now, here the concept of human development. Now, the concept of human development was being found by Mehboob ul Haq. Dr. Haq founded the concept of development. Now, you see, Dr. Haq has described human development as development that enlarges people's choices and improves their life. People are central to all development under this concept. These choices are not fixed but keep on changing. Now, if I talk about development, the word development has been found by Dr. Haq or Mehboob ul Haq. Mehboob ul Haq itself comprised the word development. Development means a positive change that has been occurring in a particular state or a country, and that positive change also represents to be as a variable, which means it changes over time. It will be changing from year to year or day to day or from month to month. Also, on the other hand, the concepts are not fixed. Yes, the concepts are not fixed and is keeping on changing. It will keep on changing and is not on a fixed basis or on a fixed provision, you can say. Also, on the other hand, the basic goal of development is to create condition where people can live meaningful lives. Now, if I talk about development, what is the basic goal of development? The basic goal of development is to give people conditions to live meaningful lives, which means if I talk about the word development, development here means condition, and those condition is leading to positive growth, and those condition is leading to positive growth, and that positive growth can change, and that positive growth can change over time. Also, on the other hand, the basic goal. Now, if I talk about the basic goal of development, what is the basic goal of development is to create conditions for the people to live meaningful lives. Very, very important to live meaningful lives. Now, a meaningful life is not just a long one. It must be a life with some purpose. This means that people must be healthy and be able to develop their talents, participate in society, and be free to achieve their goals. Now, if I talk about a meaningful life, each and every individual wants a meaningful life. Each and every individual, as I say, has the right to live. So as a result, what had happened, it means that people must be healthy. People must be healthy and people must be able to develop themselves to adapt in a particular society, and also to participate in the society with their own talents. You see, each and every individual has their unique abilities, have their unique talents as a result, so that they can participate in the society. This is termed as the process of development or is a part of the development. Also, on the other hand, to achieve their goals. Now, each and every individual has their own goal. That goal provides us to stay in a particular society which is leading us to development. I hope you have understood the word development. Now let us go to the another topic. Yes, now we will be understanding about the 4 pillars of human development. Now, what are the 4 pillars of the human development? Now you see, the pillars of human development is supported by the concepts of equality, sustainability, productivity, and empowerment. Equality refers to making equal access to opportunity available to everybody. Now, if I talk about the 4 pillars of the human development, the 4 pillars of the human development, first comes equality, second comes sustainability, third comes productivity, and the fourth comes empowerment. Now, we will be understanding the meaning of equality. Now, how equality is the first pillar of the human development. You see, sorry, not equality, same only. Equity can be termed as equality as well. It can be termed as equality also. But we will be knowing equity. Equity refers to making equal access to opportunities available to everybody. The opportunities available to people must be equal irrespective of their gender, race, income, and in the Indian case, caste. Another example in India refers to a large number of women and persons belonging to socially and economically backward group drop out of school. Now, if I talk about equity, which means each and every person has the right to equality. Men, women, children, everybody must be equal before the eyes of the law, first of all. And second of all, if I talk about equity, equal opportunity must be provided to each and every gender. Now, if I give about our country, India has a caste discrimination issue. It has a caste discrimination issue. As a result, what happens? The equality has not been served. You see, in most of the states, in most of the villages also, there are female dropouts of the school, which means most of the girls drop out of the school because they were being married at a very young age, or they were being given the household chores, and only male children were being allowed to study properly. Here you see, if I talk about equality, equality means there should be no any such kind of caste discrimination. As a result, equality must be served to each and every individual in a particular society. Whether it is a women, children, they must be equal before the eyes of the law. This is the meaning of equity. Also, on the other hand, equity means there should be no discrimination on the basis of gender, on the basis of caste, on the basis of religion as well. This is also termed to be the part of the equity. I hope you have understood. Now, if I talk about equity, equity is a part of a society. It is a part of a society or societal issue. I will not say societal issue, or you can say a societal topic. A societal topic. It comes under the societal topic or a societal element. If I talk about equity. Now here, as we have studied about equity, now we will be understanding about sustainability. Sustainability means continuation of available opportunities. What do you mean by sustainability? Sustainability means protecting of the resources, or to continue the resources up to the future generation. These are known as sustainability. You see, the word sustainability is a very common word, just because you see, we must say that we are sustainable, and we have to be sustainable so that all the resources can be used productively up to the upcoming future, or up to the future generation. So this is the meaning of sustainability. Now, sustainability means continuity of the available opportunity, which means each and every opportunity which has been provided by the government itself or by the state itself, it must be continued up to the future upcoming. To have a sustainable human development, each generation must have same opportunity. All environmental, financial, and human resources must be used keeping in mind the future. Misuse of any of these resources will lead to fewer opportunities for future generation. Now, to have a sustainable human development, each generation must have the same opportunity. Now, if you want to have a sustainable human development, what do you mean by sustainable human development? Which means protective human development or productive human development, which can be sustained, or which can be used up to the future generation, which means continuity of the available opportunities as given by the state itself. Also on the other hand, all environmental, financial, and human resources must be used keeping in mind the future. Misuse of any of these resources will lead to fewer opportunities for future generation. Now, here, keeping in mind the future, whatever opportunities we are getting, whether it is environmental, whether it is finances, also on the other hand, whether it is related to any money also, those must be kept up to the future generation. It must be protected, or it must be continued up to the future upcoming itself. So this is the meaning of sustainability, which means using the available opportunity up to the future upcoming, or you can say up to the coming of the future. Also, misuse of any resources. Now, if you misuse those resources, or if you don't use the resources in a better way, then it may extinct, and our future generation will not be getting those resources. So as a result, the word sustainability must be kept in mind of each and every individual. Now, productivity here means human labor productivity or productivity in terms of human work. Such productivity must be constantly enriched by building capabilities in people. Now, if I talk about productivity, what do you mean by productivity? It means work. Human labor productivity means how much an individual can work in a particular institute or in a particular society. This is known as productivity. Productivity must be used in a better way so that all the resources can be used productively by the individuals. Also, on the other hand, if I talk about productivity, it is also related to the human labor productivity. Now, such productivity is constantly enriched by building capabilities in people. Now, how productivity can be used? Productivity can be used in accordance with the capabilities of the people. If the people have enough capabilities to make it converting into productivity, then only the meaning of productivity becomes much effective and efficient. Ultimately, it is the people who are real wealth of the nation. Now, if I talk about the word people, we people are known to be the real wealth of the nation, which means we are considered to be the valuable product of a particular nation. If there are people, then there will be a very good nation. You see why it has been termed as the importance of education. If there is education, then there is development. Then there is development. If there is development, then there will be more productivity. Then there will be more productivity. So as a result, productivity is all about enhancing the use of an individual's capabilities or the human's capabilities to make more use of the resources or to harness the resources in a better way. Also, therefore, efforts to increase their knowledge or provide better health facilities ultimately leads to better work efficiency. Now, efforts to increase knowledge. Here comes efforts to increase knowledge. Now, if education is being provided, if skills are being provided to each and every individual, then only the productivity will be enhancing. Also, on the other hand, better health facilities can also be provided to each and every individual so that the people can work properly. You see, first comes the health, then comes the education, and then comes the human labor productivity. Health is comprised to be the most important part of human labor productivity. I hope you have understood. Here we have understood about the equity, sustainability and productivity. Last comes the empowerment. Now, we will be understanding about empowerment. Now, what do you mean by the term empowerment? Here, empowerment means to have the power to make choices. Such power comes from increasing freedom and capability. Good governance and people-oriented politics are required to empower people. Now, if I talk about empowerment, empowerment means encouraging people, encouraging people's choices. Also, on the other hand, encouraging the lifestyle of the people, encouraging the thinking or the mentality of the people. This is known as empowerment. As we talk about women empowerment is one of the greatest examples. What do you mean by the term women empowerment? Which means women must be served as an equal element in a particular society. You see, long time ago, there were differences between men and women. But after the coming of the women empowerment, women were also given equal opportunity before the eyes of the law, also in a society itself. So this is the meaning women empowerment. So empowerment means giving the power to make choices. People are being empowered so that they can make proper choices to stay in a particular society. Also, such power comes from increasing freedom and capability. Now, if I talk about empowerment, empowerment has two elements. What are the two elements? The freedom is there and the capability is there. And the capability is there. Both the terms are comprised as the empowerment. Now, good governance and people-oriented politics are required to empower people. Now, if I talk about good governance, you see, if the leader of a particular country is good, then only the people will be getting much opportunities. As a result, the people will be working according to their skills. Productivity will also increase, and also the people will be empowered more. So, as a result, good governance. Good governance and people-oriented politics must be provided. People-oriented politics means democracy. Yes, good governance is there, democracy is there. If proper democracy is being provided to a particular country itself, then only there will be empowerment. Also, on the other hand, the empowerment of socially and economically disadvantaged groups is of special importance. Now, if I talk about empowerment of a particular community, now what do you mean by empowerment of a particular community? Here comes the scheduled caste, the scheduled tribes, or the OBC people, which are termed to be as the backward classes. The backward classes, the other backward classes, those community people, when empowered to participate in a particular society, these are also termed to be as empowerment. The empowerment means involving of the number of people in a particular society without any caste discrimination, without any gender discrimination. So this is empowerment. So you have understood about the fourth term, empowerment. Now we will be understanding about measuring human development. Now, what do you understand about the measurement of human development? How human development is being measured? You see, in short, we will be understanding about Human Development Index, HDI, ranks the countries based on their performance in the key areas of health, education, and access to resources. These rankings are based on the score between 0 to 1 that a country earns from its record in the key areas of human development. If I talk about Human Development Index, I'm so sorry. If I talk about the term Human Development Index, the Human Development Index actually ranks a particular country or a specific state. The Human Development Index are the key areas. Now, how the country is being ranked, how the country is being ranked according to the capabilities of the state. First comes the health. Health comes, the education comes, and the access to the resources. These are the following elements that are being helped to measure Human Development Index. Now, the Human Development Index are being measured with the help of the following elements. First comes the health, then comes the education, and then comes the access to resources. These are the following elements that are the part of the Human Development Index. Second comes, these rankings are based on the score between 0 to 1 that a country earned from its record in the key areas of human development. Now the score comes. If you want to measure Human Development Index, the score comes. The score comes from 0 to 1. So from 0 to 1, which a country actually earns. The country may earn Human Development Index. It can be 0 also, it can be 1 also, it can be 10 also, depending upon the strength of a particular country. Now, the indicator. The indicator chosen to assess health is the life expectancy at birth. A higher life expectancy means that the people have a greater chance of living longer and healthier lives. Now, indicator. Another indicator comes access to health. As I have told, education, health. Here comes the life expectancy. Under health comes the life expectancy. I'm so sorry. Here comes the health and here comes the expectancy at birth. Now, if the life expectancy of a particular individual is very much or is in good strength, then the person will be living longer. It will be living more a healthy life. So this is known as the high life expectancy. Now, higher life expectancy. What do you mean by a higher life expectancy? Which means living longer. It means living longer with great respect and also with great strength. So this is known as high life expectancy. The adult literacy rate and the gross enrollment ratio represents access to knowledge. The number of adults who are able to read and write and the number of children enrolled in school show how easy or difficult it is to access knowledge in a particular country. Now, adult literacy rate. Here we will be terming as the adult literacy rate and gross enrollment rate. Now, first we have understood about health, and here under health comes the high life expectancy. Here we will be understanding about the adult literacy rate. Now, if a person is literate enough, then he will be working in a particular institute and the productive level will increase. So each and every person must be educated enough so that they can read well, they can write well, also they can work in a particular institute properly with enough skills. Also, gross enrollment rate. Here the gross enrollment rate or ratio refers to the excess of the knowledge. How much knowledge an individual is having, these are all related to the adult literacy rate and gross enrollment ratio. Also, on the other hand, how many dropout rates are there, how many children are being enrolled in a particular institute or school or college, these are all part of the literacy rate. Now, you see, without knowledge, if An individual is without knowledge, he or she must have access to knowledge so that they can develop proper skills, they can develop proper knowledge so that they can work for the productivity of a particular nation. Also, on the other hand, access to resources is measured in terms of purchasing power. Very, very important. Now we will be understanding about purchasing power. You see US dollars. With the help of US dollars only, we will be understanding the purchasing powers of a particular country. Now, one US dollar is equal to 90 rupees. In this way only, we will be understanding the purchasing power, and the purchasing power is always being comprised or is always being calculated in the terms of US dollars. So first we have understood about the Human Development Index. What do you mean by the Human Development Index? Second comes the health. Under the health comes the this one, life expectancy rate. Second comes the education. With the help of education, we understand adult literacy rate and also the gross enrollment ratio, and third comes the purchasing power. The purchasing power is being calculated in terms of US dollars. Now here comes the Human Development Index, is the sum total of the weights assigned to all these dimensions. The Human Development Index measures attainments in human development. It reflects what has been achieved in the key areas of human development. Now, if I talk about human development is the sum total of the weights. The human development is comprised to be the sum total of the weights assigned to the particular elements such as education, such as health. You see, if I talk about Human Development Index, it is the sum total of the weights. It is a sum total of the weights which are being categorized into different dimensions. Now, what are the different dimensions? The different dimension comes the health. Health comes, and then comes this one. Health comes, education comes. So these are the different dimensions. Also, on the other hand, Human Development Index measured in terms of attainments. It comes in terms of attainments, and those attainments reflect the key areas of human development. Now, those attainments reflect the key areas of the human development. As I have said regarding the key areas again are termed as health and education. Health, education, purchasing power, these are all key areas, and they are also termed to be as the attainments. Now, if you want to understand Human Development Index, we must know about the attainments as well. And those attainments are health, education, and purchasing power. Also, on the other hand, Human Poverty Index is related to the Human Development Index. This index measures the shortfalls in human development. It is a non-income measure. Very, very important. It is a non-income measure. Now, the probability of non-surviving till the age of 40, the adult illiteracy rate, the number of people who do not have access to clean water, and the number of small children who are underweight are all taken into account to show shortfall in human development in any region. Now, if I talk about the shortfalls, what do you mean by shortfalls in human development? The shortfalls are related to the disadvantages in human development. The shortfalls are related to the disadvantages in human development. Now, what are the disadvantages? The disadvantages comes the adult illiteracy rate. The adult illiteracy rate is the part of the disadvantage of human development, and also it is termed as the shortfalls, as I have said, and also the non-surviving. The non-surviving of the life expectancy till the age of 40. Most of the people die at the age of 40. So this is also the non-surviving element. First comes the adult illiteracy, second comes the non-surviving element, and third comes the small children who are underweight. The small children who are underweight. Now, in parts of Africa also, most of the children are there who are not getting basic amenities. So they are underweight. They are not getting proper food. They are not getting proper protein. As a result, they are underweight. These are also termed to be the shortfalls of the Human Development Index. Also, not getting access to clean water. In most of the states, in most of the countries as well, they are not getting access to clean water. So this is also one of the elements that we study in the shortfalls of the Human Development Index. So these are all kept into account when we study the shortfalls of Human Development Index. First comes the attainments, and then comes the shortfalls. The attainments and the shortfalls. These both terms are actually important to understand the Human Development Index. One thing, let me recall. Here you see one thing. Just look at the diagram properly. Here the dimensions of the human development. Already we have studied the dimensions of the human development. The dimensions of the human development we have studied is equity, sustainability, empowerment is there, and productivity is there. These are the four pillars of the human development. There are other pillars as well. The other pillars come here: long and healthy life, knowledge, decent standard living, promoting equality and social justice, human security and rights, environmental sustainability, participation in political and community life. So these are also the dimensions of human development. If there are proper human development, then there is direct enhancing of human capabilities and also conditions for the human development or for the proper human development. So this is the diagram of the dimensions of the human development. So I hope you have understood regarding the topics of the human development. And if you want to know any of the courses regarding Bhadra Academy, then you can contact us in this number 8638391721. And thank you for watching my class.